Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the LolCow Ranch. I'm your host, Governor Rocknar, and I've decided to do a little bit of house cleaning again. And Mary, I want you to take a look at something, okay? So we're changing plans, all right? Since you think that this is a fundraiser about trucks, all right? I want you to get me this truck now, all right? You see what this truck is? This is a real truck. This is a real truck. This is the Landmaster from the movie Damnation Alley. It's a very good movie. Now, that's a very good truck too. That truck will drive in the water. Did you know that? That truck will drive through the water. Mary, get me that truck, please. How have you all been tonight? We're going to take a look at James Robert Clark's Community Tab again. Because, hi, Mando. Hi, let's get you a wrench. There you go. You are now a moderator. Welcome to our chat. And we are going to take a brief look. And I want to make sure that there's been no new videos here. Because I think that he did run out of data on his plan. And he did make a video because he had to save it to his phone. But then he just had to walk down to a Burger King Wi-Fi or something like that. Did you make any new videos tonight, James? Yes, you did! Oh, the fun that I miss when I'm at my work job. The trolls took a tiny Christmas break. Well, you know what? I'm exposing the goddamn business. I want you to see the magic, James. This is how I grind the sausage. Oh, look at that. Trolls took a tiny Christmas break. Hey, guess what? We'll get to watch it. We'll get to watch it on live. I know you're going to talk about me, James. I know it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, James, you just don't disappoint. I was totally expecting to just go through your community tab because I had stuff ready to go for that. Here, just a sec. That's what happens when I got to hit those tabs right before work. So, I was ready to just go through your community tab and just kind of pick you apart on that. I'll do that in a moment. Because let's take a look at your new video. We'll take a look at it right now. How about that? Okay. The trolls.
So essentially, I made this very.
I gotta remember to sync back up to the VLC for this. Hey James, you're gonna help me get this truck too. You know that? I didn't think you were gonna help me tonight, but yeah, let's bring on the James. Oh, James, my old friend.
So essentially, I made this very clear to my friend in a previous video.
Your friend is me now, James. Okay? Every time that you make a video that you think that is going to reach Eliana, you're reaching me now, James. I make that promise to you. Okay? I shall do to you what you did to Eliana. Leave you marooned in a sea of your own misery. Paraphrasing Khan there, but brand new video, Marine. This is brand new JRC video. We're taking a look at it ourselves.
As long as you people keep harassing me.
Oh, as long as we people keep harassing you. No, we people will keep exposing you, James. That's what we're going to keep doing.
I will keep posting things in my community tab.
And I will keep reacting to them, James.
Okay?
Okay.
What I won't do is I will not get angry again, and I will not.
Oh, I'm not angry at you in the slightest, James. I'm happy. I'm happy that you finally got some data on your Wi-Fi plan so that you can start uploading videos. I'm happy, James. I love these videos. You're going to get me the Landmaster quicker than you realize.
Not get loud again, and I will not scare her ever again.
I think you know what I'm going to do with the Landmaster is first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drive it from Colorado all the way to Las Tejas. That way I'm just going to pull up in the Landmaster and I'll be like, hey, AP, look at this. Then I'm going to let him take the wheel. Thing steers like hell, but it's fun to drive, James.
because that's the goal. Now,
Oh, that's my goal now, James. It's the Landmaster. That's my goal.
what's interesting is during the beginning of this and at its peak, Niece Wolf especially, but other trolls were emailing me. I have thousands of emails.
Show us the emails, James. Adrasdea has the ability to show us the emails on her phone. She can do her little multi-screens. James, there's a lot more that your phone can do that you realize, okay? All you're limiting yourself to right now is you just click on record, you talk into the phone, you click on stop, you click on upload. That's it. You don't put any spice into your videos like Mary does. Mary is literally able to just put like a little tiny picture in picture with her face on it, and she can show us the screen on her phone. You can show us the screen on your phone, James.
Trying to turn me against my friend from Argentina.
No, 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 James. Your friend from Argentina turned on you 7 years ago. Well, 6 years and 50 weeks ago, because we're going to give it 2 weeks grace period. You had a 2 week introduction period where you basically ingratiated yourself to Eliana under the threats and the bullshit guys that you were somehow suicidal, and you kept saying, oh, well, if you leave me, I might just do something. And she called your bluff, James. True suicidal people do not do that to other people, all right? True suicidal people would never use suicide as a bluff against someone that they loved, especially like Eliana.
Trying to make it look like she was, backstabbing me and things like this. And she did. I don't doubt that she did, but I don't doubt the reason that she did was because she was misled by you people.
How was she misled, James? Please tell us. Show us those emails that Nisa sent you. Show us everything that you claim has happened. Because right now your word ain't shit, boy.
Or she was pressured into doing it with.
No, she was not pressured into doing anything. If anything, you pressured her into going on to Daywave. You pressured her into going on to Hatman. You've pressured her into us making reaction videos now about you, James. That's our goal. Mm-hmm.
Peer pressure and things of that nature. Now, what I find very interesting, what you're.
Hey, did you notice? Look at really closely. See right by his hoodie strings, right by the zipper. Looks like a little J. See that? What is that? Jimmy, are you marking your clothes so that you know whose are yours and whose are somebody else's? Jimmy, what's going on with that J mark on your hoodie? Or is that some kind of some kind of fashion statement that you're trying to create? Are you trying to create your own fashion line, Jimmy? Because you got to go on Teespring for that.
Claiming I'm doing to her this alleged harassment and traumatization.
Alleged harassment and alleged traumatization. Oh, so I guess all of Hatman's videos and all of Daywave's and all of AP's videos. That's what lies, James. James, we're going off of your own videos when we make our React videos, James. We know what a creepy, psychopathic stalker you really are, because Eliana has told us on Daywave this.
And all this. You folks do this every day to Mary, to Adrasdea. And
Well, we expose her lies too. Yes, we will expose her lies, and we're gonna get to that because I got some interesting documents for that.
in fact, far more so than I've ever done to my friend. In fact,
Oh, you know what? Your 7 years of harassing Eliana pales in comparison. Okay? You are the pot calling the kettle black on that one. Okay? See, you're just where do you get off thinking that your 7 years of harassing Eliana is somehow better than us exposing Mary for roughly the last 2 or 3 years. Or Scooby, for that matter. Okay? You're really no better than Scooby. In fact, Scooby's actually better than you. I'll go out on a limb and say that. Yeah, Scooby is better than you. Because Scooby knows when to keep his fucking mouth shut and not make fucking videos.
In fact, the main difference between what I did with my friend and what you do to Adrasdea is, with my friend, it was well-meaning. That's the truth, and I
No, James. James, you manipulated her by pretending you were suicidal. She dumped you. Then you manipulated her some more by not changing any of your bad behaviors after a year when she tried to give you a second chance. Then you continued to manipulate her by, enrolling in her calculus class when you can barely do the basic math that 2 plus 2 equals not you, James.
don't think she'd even deny that at this point. She knows that I meant well, and she can see with her own eyes what you people have been doing.
That you meant well? James, you pretended that you were suicidal, and then right after that, you said, "Hey, here's some Polynesian outfits I'd love to see you wearing." James, suicide is a very, very bad card to play if you're single and you're trying to look for somebody to date. Okay?
And are doing, and are continuing to do, and do, and do.
And we will continue to do these reaction videos, James. As long as you keep providing us that LolCow material, I'll keep providing the reaction material for that.
Pushing your nose into places where they don't even belong. What I thought was funny is you tried to turn people against me that I've known even longer than my former friend.
Who have we tried to turn against you, James? Because at this point, we have open invitations to bring your employer onto our show so that we can get their side of the story as to why you were fired. We can bring, we'll ask them, "Hey, is it true that what we heard about James, why he got fired?" And they'll say, "Yeah, it's true." They won't lie about you, James. Oh, there's that Amazon trucks going by your place again. James, hopefully, if you get a job at Amazon, it'll clear up a lot of this bullshit in your head because you'll be too busy working at Amazon making $18.50 an hour, to really even care about making your videos. James, get a job.
One of them was another friend of mine.
You also got to edit that shit out when you're doing these because you gotta learn to stop. You got to learn to recognize hey, sorry about that. Amazon's passing by. Give it a few seconds and then continue with your ranting. As long as it doesn't interrupt you too much. I can understand that noises like that will interrupt your train of thought.
That you said you were going to tell I was a stalker.
Oh, we're not going to tell you're a stalker, because we know you're a stalker, James.
Well, being that I...
Oh, you know what? Hey, keep that Russian bot active for a moment, because I want to actually use Google Translate and kind of send a message back to say, "Hey, promote my stuff, please."
I've known her for, I don't know, 9 years now. It's kind of hard, because she's known...
9 years, James? 9? So you've been watching Eliana for the 2 years before you made contact with her? Is this what you're saying? 9 years? We're learning more about you every day, James. That subconscious is helping us more than it's helping you right now, because it's helping us decode you, and it's thwarting your conscious mind's plans to hurt Eliana.
Known me for 9 years.
See, there's that creepy laugh again. He's gone to that dark place for 2 years before he even made contact with Eliana. He's using that dark, creepy laugh of his as a way of changing the subject. And look at how fucked up his teeth are. Of course, you know what? I'm not really one to complain either, because, James, my teeth are fucked up too, because I clench the shit out of my teeth. I know you clench the shit out of yours. Look at how bad those front teeth are. My God. I bet you've had issues, James, where you crack your teeth and things like that. But James, you got to clench with your back teeth. Okay, you got to do it like, not. You got to clench with your back teeth, like Sam Stutler is saying. Because if you clench with your front teeth and you got the mouth guard in, you're just gonna fuck up your jaw even more. I mean, I gotta go to a dentist at some point, James. You do too. Damn, son, those teeth are a fucking mess. But you know what, James? This brings me up to a funny story, because the day after I appeared on the KET debate with Ben Chandler and Andy Barr, I saw that Kentucky Sports Radio had put an article about me, and they had a photograph of me, and they had kind of a really embarrassing photo that they had managed to screen capture of me with my teeth. And some of their, viewers had commented that's like, "Hey, look at this guy. It looks like he's been chewing rocks." I said, "Well, yeah, you know what?" I commented back on that right away. Wasn't angry. I was like, you know what? I understand. I'm just hoping that sweet dental plan gets in so I can get a pair of choppers like Jaws from the movie Goldfinger. Not Goldfinger. Moonraker. Moonraker. And the spy who loved me. Yeah, he's got quite the set of teeth on him. Jaws did. That, you know what? That, if we could Photoshop James with, Jaws from James Bond's, yeah. Oh, that would be fucking scary. But you got to be careful not to bite your tongue off with those. Those things are not toys, all right?
So, I mean, you forget that sometimes people know people longer than other people.
And we know that you've been watching Eliana now for two whole years before you made contact with the "I feel suicidal, please help me." And she gave you that chance, and then you fucked it up immediately with your creepiness. True suicidal people would have never done that, James.
And the thing is, now you're pushing into other territory with this young lady, Angela. Well, you know what?
Oh, you know what? We'll bring Angela on my show, too. She has an open invite to come take you down as well. I'm sure she's sensing that great disturbance in the force that is James Robert Clark III. I'm sure of it. Angela, if you see this, please come on our show. We will send you an invite. You can have permanent wrench status in our Discord for this, so you can come chat with us in the voice. But yeah, you're not bringing Angela into this as a replacement for Eliana, okay? Not with how creepy you are. You got a lot of personal behaviors that need to be changed before you can even think to be in a relationship with a woman. All right, James?
Angela's allowed to think whatever Angela wants to think, but I guarantee you she's not dumb enough to believe what you're selling her.
You know what, James? I wish that that were true, but let's face it, it's not. Angela sees you from 1,000 miles. Well, not just 1,000, from 10,000 miles away, James. I mean, she's seeing your videos. She's looking at 7 years worth of your videos. And remember what I said a few weeks ago about how all you have to do now is Google search James Robert Clark III, and it's going to come up with now not just your videos, but now mine, and Hatman's, and AP's, and Daywave? We're all exposing you, James. We're taking you down. You want to add Angela's Symposium to the chorus of voices taking you down? By all means, James. Let's bring Angela into this.
I guarantee you that. I guarantee you she's going to ask, what's going on in your head that makes you think the things that you think, because she's not dumb.
No, she isn't dumb. And she knows what's going on. Believe me.
Okay? But the thing is, what you need to take into consideration is I've done far less to my friend than you people do to Adrasdea every day. Well, every morning, every noon, every afternoon, every evening. You torture this woman.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does Eliana make videos begging for donations, James? Threatening suicide of her own? threatening that she's going to get evicted from her apartment, James? Does she pity grift people out of money? And then when nothing happens to her when she said it's going to happen, are you out there making your own videos to Eliana, just like exposing her for that? No, 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 no. James, Eliana and Mary are two totally different people. Okay? Don't you dare compare Eliana to Mary. All right? Eliana is the nicest, sweetest person in the world. Mary is a grifter troll. Get that through your head, James.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I know this because you do the same thing to me.
Oh, we will do the same thing to you, James. You keep up these videos like this, we will do the same thing. And you know what? We'll go in shifts. You know, if it's not me, it'll be Virgie. If it's not Virgie, it'll be Hatman. If it's not Hatman, it's AP. If it's not AP, it's Daywave. We'll just go on. We'll go on in a rotation, buddy.
And the goal is to get a reaction out of the person.
And you're getting that reaction out of you right now because you made this video and we're premiering it.
And, you know, what's the difference between Adrasdea and my friend from Argentina?
A big difference, James. We've already told you this. Don't you dare try to compare Eliana to Adrasdea. Okay?
Well, the one clear difference is they have very, very different appearances.
You and I have
There was no caring about my friend from Argentina going on. Let's get that straight. The only one that cared about my friend from Argentina is the only person that cared about her from the beginning of this whole thing, and that's...
Oh boy, stream has disconnected. Refresh everyone if you can still see this. Sorry about that. Red fresh. I don't know if it kind of burped just now. Hopefully we're still on. If you see us, if we're still live, just, you know, say, you know, red fresh. All right, I'll wait until I see some red freshes in the chat there. But James, I'm going to use this moment. Yeah, hi, hey Maureen. If you want to join us in the Discord, you're welcome to. But I you're probably keeping up with Virgie and APs also, I think. So, yeah. Yes, hi Red Fresh. Yes. James, you're trying to compare Eliana to Mary. You're trying to compare your videos to Eliana to AP's videos exposing Mary. Okay? It's not going to work, James. All right? And you know what? Yeah, they do have different appearances. That's true. Guess what, James? Water is wet. Newsflash. All right? So it's not just about the exterior physical appearances, James. It's about the interior physical reality that they hold. Eliana is not a grifter, James. Don't you dare compare Eliana to Mary ever again. I'll put you in a special LolCow pen for everyone to see what a real embarrassing LolCow you are.
I'm the only one that cared about her from the beginning of this through now.
You're pretending that you're caring, but all you want to do is just get close to her so you can control her. We've known this for 7 years. She knew this 2 weeks into your bullshit story of, please help me, I feel suicidal. James, you're pathetic.
You people have been working to make me as upset at her as possible, and to keep her as upset at me as possible, to keep this going, to A, make money off it, and B, exploit her.
Nobody's exploiting Eliana, James. And like I've said, every time that you think that you're making a video to her, and every time that you think that you're talking about her in your videos, from now on, James, you're talking about me. I'm your Huckleberry, James.
I know exactly what's going on. I see what you people do to Adrasdea. I see what you do to other people. And it's pathetic, and it's a sign of weakness.
No, James. We're protecting Eliana from you, from your craziness, from your bullshit. We're exposing you to the world. That is not a sign of weakness, James.
I also think it's funny, like, you got that woman, Maureen. I can't speak
Oh,
properly.
fuck you, James.
Oh my fucking god!
How childish are you?
Oh. James, this is what wounded narcissism does. You lash out at the people who are trying to help you.
Oh, I'm not trying to help him. Oh no.
Oh,
I
no,
want
no.
him. I want him to
Well,
facilitate.
well, you
I
lash
gotta make
out.
that clear.
You lash out at the people that are exposing you for your grift, for your little pandering grift. James. Oh.
Yeah. No, he's butthurt. Honestly, one of the hills I'm gonna die on. He's butthurt because I had to school him in earth science with the difference with what happens when the northern hemisphere is tilted farthest away from the sun compared to the southern hemisphere. He's still butthurt over that.
James, you don't understand the 23.5-degree curvature of the Earth?
It's not just that; it's simple physics. Two things cannot exist in the same physical place at the same time. The northern hemisphere can't have the north and south cannot have winter at the same fucking time.
Oh my god, is he a flat earther? Please tell me he is not a flat earther.
Yes, I know I have a speech impediment. I have a lisp when I'm overtired, and I actually had a burn the inside of my lip last week. But when I'm overtired and I have stuff like that going on, it and I get excited, it is more pronounced. I've lived with this since I could speak.
When I get
James, that's not an own, and it's something I haven't been made fun of since I was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
It was stuff my classmates when we were 6 that making fun of my impediment does not reflect well on you, a 38-year-old adult man, allegedly.
Yeah. James, you know what? I have a goofy sounding voice. I'm sure that everybody else probably thinks that my voice is, more or less normal to them, but, I hate the sound of my voice when I'm hearing it, played back. I'm surprised that you don't hate the sound of your voice when you're playing it back, James.
I hate the sound of mine too. Like sometimes state I'm from comes in very thick, and I hate that.
It doesn't sound like your voice, does it? Because when you speak, it sounds different because the sound is being carried inside your ears. But when you're hearing it from a recorded source, it comes from the recorded source outward to your ears, so you're hearing it in a totally different way. That's why some people, it's a really big to get over when you're trying to do broadcasting, is you have to get over how your voice sounds when you're listening to it. So, James, if you knew how your voice sounded, especially when you're making these childish insults towards Maureen, who's pointing out your faults and your flaws so that maybe you'll change them. Look at that goofy jackass grin. I've got it all saved on right now. That just open mouth like James.
I can't hear you. I can't speak right. And then you got what's his Randolph Vance.
Oh, are you still there, Randolph?
Oh, I am. I'm still here. I was just kind of wondering what he's got. Wondering what he's got to say about my voice.
No, I'm getting neat.
I can hear you. Yeah, you're still here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I,
No,
I
because it might have been my internet because it gets sucky sometimes.
oh yeah, it's yeah. But what have you got to say about my voice, James?
Hello, I'm Randolph Benz. I'm a beta politician. Look at my beautiful face. I look special. I look like the kid from Mask. Oh,
He's so fucking. This is so fucking immature. Like I should.
James, do you know
I
why?
don't.
Do you know why I posted that video of my debate? Because those are my friends now, James. Those are my friends that I can call upon to do a very special favor. I could ask Andy Barr tomorrow, hey, Andy, would you do me a favor and look at James Robert Clark III's YouTube videos and ask the State Department to travel restrict you to the United States to keep you away from Eliana? You know what Andy's going to say? I'll look into that, Randolph. I guarantee you he'll look into that.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, hey, you know what? Speaking of choking coughs, visit cbdx.com and use promo codes AP or ROTC or 44420 or Virgie. Make sure you put the two Y's at the end of it. You get 20% off on your order. You also get a free gift and priority shipping on any order that's over $80. cbdx.com carries moon rocks, disposable vape cartridges, flour, dabs, and gummies. CBDX.com is not that gas station CBD, and CBDX.com will get you high. CBDX.com gets you lifted. And I don't need an Alexa to remember to say all that, but I wish I did have an Alexa, James. Why don't you buy me an Alexa to go with the Landmaster, James?
Cher played my mom in the movies.
I wish Cher played my mom in the movie. That would actually be cool. I'd love to have Cher play my mom in a movie about my life. James, you're better. You're better at casting than Lynn Stallmaster. Did you know that? James, you know what? I'll talk to my agent about this. And I actually do have an agent. That's a nice thing to be able to say is I have an agent. And Scooby can't take that away from me either.
Come on.
Oh, come on, James. Have we wounded your narcissism now? Because now you've attacked me for, God forbid, trying to better myself, for trying to run for Congress when I was working at an inconvenience store during the 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. overnight shift. James, I survived people pulling machetes on me with a smile. With a smile, James.
You know, it takes guts to run for any political office, and the fact that you got over 8,000 votes your second try, that's
Well,
pretty damn good.
I dedicated myself. The first time was a pure write-in effort, and then I realized that you actually do have to get your name on the ballot to get some consideration. So I dedicated myself to that. And there was a reason for my runs for Congress is because when I realized that a certain bank, which I cannot name, otherwise I would probably get yeeted from the stream for this, but a certain bank had a branch that was literally around the corner from my old house in Lexington. And they had sent a bank representative to the house to get my dad to sign an unauthorized home equity line of credit loan on property that was not in his name. It was technically in my name. It was in an inter vivos trust to make sure that the property didn't fall, into tax trouble from my parents. And I had to fight for like 8 years to, try to hold on to that house. And I realized now, that I should have sold that house right after my dad died and I'd have gotten a lot more for it. But James, it was foolish pride on me that was trying to keep that house, in my name. And Robert Louis Stevenson, Maureen, you're familiar with Robert Louis Stevenson, right? Jekyll and Hyde?
He wrote two of my favorite novels.
Yeah. Okay,
He wrote Jekyll and Hyde, Treasure Island.
Mm-hmm. Jekyll and Hyde mostly, because I consider my split brain personality more of like a Jekyll and a Hyde type situation. Hyde was angry at hell, angry as hell at that bank for what they did to my dad in his senile dementia. Angry as hell, wanted to do angry things to that bank. And Jekyll said, "You know what? We're not going to do angry things to that bank. We're going to do angry things to the bank laws. We're going to run for Congress." That was my inspiration to run for Congress, was because, you know, why try to take down the banks when you could take down the bank laws better? That's what got them.
I'm behind you on that.
Yeah. James, if you had one iota of courage, you'd do what I did, James. You would put your name out there, but you can't. You've got all this bullshit material, 7 years worth, that both parties are just going to use at willy-nilly. They're just going to be like, "Oh, look at all these videos he's put out." James, I would be willing to be your political consultant on that, since I feel that I have somewhat of the qualifications to do this. But you got to lay off these videos for at least a year. You got to delete all that library. You got to make a public formal apology to Eliana. You got to get counseling for your bad behavior and treatment for any addictions that you might have before the public will even consider you to be electable. But then once you get in front of that debate, once you start speaking your truth. Maureen, did you watch that debate that I posted on my channel from like 2012?
No.
They only let me speak for 5 minutes. They only would let me speak for 5 minutes on that. Their original plan was to let me have the entire whole hour, because they, thought, "Oh, crazy man running as an independent. Well, he's bound to say some crazy shit, so we'll let him have the microphone for a whole hour." When they realized that the shit I was saying wasn't crazy at all, change of plans, keep the football away from him.
Yep.
Yeah. 5 minutes, James. I got 5 minutes of talk time out of that whole hour.
I thought you were supposed to have equal time.
I thought it was too. And even the moderator posted on the KET website the next day that he was so sorry for the little amount of airtime, because James, I was like Babe Ruth. Whenever they were asking me a question, I was fucking calling my shot. I was pointing to the stands going, "I'm sending it there. Watch." Maureen, one of the best responses I gave was a question that a call-in person had. They wanted to know if I was pro-choice or if I was pro-life. You know what I told them? I said I was pro-condom.
That's a good answer.
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I'm a man. I have to be pro-condom because I don't have the body parts to make the choice for myself. And I don't want to have to put somebody through that choice. So I'm pro-condom. Because a woman does not get herself pregnant. A man makes her pregnant. Men are without a man, you can't get a woman can't get pregnant by herself. I mean, the only species it happens in is sharks. And that's called parthenogenesis, where sharks can spontaneously reproduce by themselves, but that's only in sharks, James. Okay? And that's why I chose to be pro-condom. And I was siding with the Constitution. It's the ruling of United States of America versus Antoine Jones regarding the placement of GPS devices on a suspect's car without a warrant. And the Supreme Court at that time had ruled 9-0 on that. And I was like, it's because they sided with the Constitution. They didn't side with Democrats or Republicans. They're siding with the Constitution in that regard. And I think
a Fourth Amendment violation right there.
Exactly. It's a classic violation of the Fourth Amendment. And also, I think a lot of people were mad because in 2012, I was reading the political tea leaves way early. I knew that gay marriage was coming down the lane, and I based it off of the Supreme Court decision in 1967 of Loving v. Virginia, which determined that
Oh yeah.
marriage is a civil function, and by its nature is a civil act. So it is the joining of two people's property houses. That's all. That's
That
yeah. It when you
that
boil
was
it down.
the Virginia case with an interracial couple, right?
Loving v. Virginia
Yeah.
was the first interracial marriage couple. Yes, and
And and Virginia was being huge dicks about it.
right, and Virginia didn't understand that marriage is a common law contract between two property holders at that time. Doesn't matter what race they are, and now it doesn't matter what gender they are. So, it's about property law contract. So, James, you have a lot of growing up to do if you think that you're going to come at me. And if you think that I'm a beta male and I'm a beta politician, you know what the answer to that is? Run for Congress yourself and do better than I did. That's how you answer that challenge, James.
Come on. You're a bunch of dorks.
Yes, we are a bunch of dorks, James. I'll admit it. I am a political dork. I'm a Star Trek dork. I'm not so much a Star Wars dork. I watched.
We can't be friends anymore.
I'm sorry. Well, you know what? I sorry. I go by the Mr. Plinkett reviews of Phantom Menace. I'm sorry. It's just like as soon as they introduced the cartoon rabbit, I was out of there. I was like, no.
To be fair, there are only 3 Star Wars movies: episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, I loved episode 4 because you know what?
Yeah.
My parents had the kind of connections to where I actually got a bootleg copy VHS of Star Wars. And it actually had like it had a star wipe slide for some reason. It had a video star wipe that went right after Let the Wookiee Win, when C3PO is saying to R2D2, who's just beaten Chewbacca at chess. My suggestion is let the Wookiee win. And then you see this, for some reason, you see a star wipe that just comes out of the center of the screen. I'm like, huh, I wish to God I'd saved that VHS copy. Because that copy is like, that is amazing to have a VHS copy that has like video of star wipe effects to that. Oh, James, I am a big political nerd. I am a big sci-fi nerd. As you can see, I love the Landmaster from Damnation Alley, and you're going to help me get that with these videos you helped me make, James.
Let's just say you don't want to get started on a Lord of the Rings discussion with me. Like, it'll go on for hours.
Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings. That was something that I watched. Two Towers, like right. There was
I hated the two. I still hate the Two Towers.
I know.
The movie, not the book.
Well, at the time, that was the week that my mom was passing away in the hospital. We had
Sorry.
No, it's okay, because it's like it's weird that I can bring it up now because I kind of stopped crying about it because it's just like a moment of reflection for this. But there was a huge ice storm that we had in Lexington the week that my mom passed away. It was like February of 2003. There was literally an inch of ice on everything, and there was no power for anything. Power in my house had been out for a week. My dad was staying with like neighbors in a nearby town because, we were trying to keep him safe and warm. And I was kind of guarding the house. And my friend took me out to see the Two Towers. And it was a weird kind of moment because the scenes in the Two Towers where you would ordinarily cry, I stopped crying. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of helped me prepare for what was coming. So, but yeah, James, there's nothing wrong with being a nerd. James, we don't care if you're a nerd. We care that, you would not be creepy towards people. All right? That's what we're caring about, buddy.
Smart enough to be nerds. And then the other thing is,
you know what, James? I realized something. You're envious. You're envious of what we are trying to achieve in our own lives. You're envious of the fact that Royce has daywave radio. You're envious of AP for late night. You're envious of me for trying to run for Congress. You're envious of Maureen because of, her relationship with Royce. You're envious about people. You don't know how to reach out to other people, and your mind just wants to attack when it doesn't know how to embrace. And you want to embrace Eliana, but your embraces are just attacks in disguise. So,
Look, let me get this straight, and I apologize, honey, for raising my voice. If you're
honey, hey, he's calling me honey now. I'm cool with that